Welcome to Kupuna Wisdom, Conversations with Enlightened Elders. My guest today, and I'm Amora St. John, and my guest today is Lei'ohu Ryder, who I'm very happy that you invited us out to your beautiful land here, Lei'ohu. Thank you so much. We are in Kula on Maui.
Yes. Yeah.
I wish the camera could swing around and see the glory of this place.
Yes, we're on Haleakala in a place called Vai'oha.
Vai'oha, what does that mean?
It means the breath of the ancestors that gather on the mountain. Of course, you won't see it in a map because the other name they call this place is Vai'ohuli, the turning of the waters. But what I have been told by my beloved Auntie Mahilani Poipoi, my spiritual teacher and mother, is that this place is called Vai'oha. And when you are here, embraced by the clouds and the spirit and the rains, it just wakes you up and makes you so happy to be here on Maui, this beloved land.
Yes. You know, I'm just 2 years from the mainland, and I am so amazed at how the Hawaiians here honor the land. So unlike what we do on the mainland overall. What is it about the Hawaiian aina that draws people to it?
I believe, these volcanic islands, they ooze with aloha.
Yeah.
And when you are here, you get to remember, that your bones are the bones of Pele, or are the bones of the earth. And it just continues to vibrate the aloha that we all are endowed with and hunger for at the same time.
Yes.
That spirit. So, yeah.
And we have the ocean, which of course is the negative ions and the beauty of the blue Pacific. And do you get in the ocean a lot yourself?
Yeah, actually I've been going quite a lot this past week. I was there, in grandmother, in the kai, in the Moana, 3 times.
Yeah.
So that's pretty wonderful.
Given what a busy lady you are, that is pretty great.
Yes, well, I made the conscious choice to go and soak up the sun and the nutrients and the salt, and just feel so refreshed.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Well, you are a Hawaiian icon, Lei'ohu, because I think you are willing to put it on the line. I see you standing for justice and goodness and the aloha spirit everywhere you speak. And when you speak, you are I said in my little email to you, you are like a poet.
Oh,
and
mahalo.
Do you feel like you've been seated with this vision and this mission?
I just feel gratitude, mahalo, that I get to share just this one voice. I don't like to, I'm not an expert. I don't speak on behalf of any group. I can only share from my own experiences. So I simply go into that space inside and share what I feel. And what I am for is respect for all people, maluhia, peace, being able to raise your children and feed your families and children without being poisoned. It's one of the things is every question is aloha and every answer is aloha. So it's about aloha.
Can you say that to the folks who are running Monsanto here, that everyone's up in arms with the GMO movement?
Well, I believe that we are all being called to stand for the future and to stand for our families. We're not against anything, including the families of Monsanto, and we are for families.
So embrace them all with love.
Absolutely.
But take your stand, right? Which you're doing, aren't you?
Yeah. Love is truth and fierce truth.
Yeah.
Being in aloha is speaking from that space in your heart that knows that when you believe in something, that you share it.
Yes.
And you stand up for that without meeting whatever your emotionally angry towards with the same anger that is coming towards you. It's a very interesting dance. To
like
be
Tai
in
Chi,
this balance,
where you just kind of step aside. And
yeah. So, you know, when I say I'm for families, I'm for peace. I'm for aloha. I'm for everyone living harmoniously in these islands of aloha that reflect so much generosity from those first peoples that dreamed these beautiful islands. And there are so many different stories and timelines, and depending where you are on the timeline, you know, do we choose to be in the story of heartache and anger and frustration, or do we choose to be the illumination of aloha in this garden of the eternal flame that is each of us? Because in all our lifetimes we have played out many roles. And so whether we come packaged as a Hawaiian in this lifetime or not, we are all one ohana under the divine eyes of the universe.
Beautiful.
And I believe that's the teachings of aloha, that every mineral, every plant, you know, every human is, we are all ohana, we are that family. And so when we remember that, it's gentler.
Yes.
Because it's an internal journey. It's not an external journey. It's not, you know, external can really move you into fear and judgment and frustration and love and aloha and family and all those delicious things that make us happy. But what we speak of, at least what I'm speaking of and alluding to, is that it's an internal journey, and no one is no more or less than anyone else. So I simply share what I am.
What do you think is the role of the kupuna, the elder on the island? And how old, we've had this discussion with so many people, do you have to be a certain age to be a kupuna? Because here we are, and I call them Act 3, we're in our third act, heading to the climax. And what is a kupuna?
Well, a kupuna is, well, it can be an elder. What age? I'm not sure. I think sometimes definitions can create even more confusion. To me, there is no age limit definition to what a kupuna is. It's the source. To me, it's the source, the source of something, of wisdom. But when we say kupuna, they can be seen and unseen. So it can be those that have crossed over and are the kukui that guide you now, or those beautiful, brilliant kupuna that are tucked away in every home on these islands.
Yes.
These elders that have witnessed so much, that are all imbued with wisdom, and have created our lifestyle that we get to live in right here, right now. You know, their blood, sweat, prayers, and tears. We are their gifts. We are the inheritance of their visions. Yes. They worked hard, and they did the best they could. And so those of us who, look back, we cannot judge that. It is our time now.
Yes.
And we are here, and we cannot blame or fault, which is so much
easy to do.
So common. It's easy to blame and fault.
Who guides you, Lei'ohu? You said we are here to be guided. The Kupuna
My
wisdom.
dog over here. My dog,
Alai. The best guide of all.
Who guides me?
Yeah.
Love guides me.
Where do you
Aloha
get
guides
where
me.
do you get your empowerment from?
Well, from all that I have experienced,
Yeah.
my family, my friends, the beautiful earth, our mother and father that created this, all the divine. Everything inspires me, not just one thing. And, part of the message is, let's all have a meaningless life. It's having a meaningless life that, without definition, that allows us to arrive in this moment fully present with the breath of spirit, the aloha, to allow what that moment is. When we detach from the meaning of something, it invites meaning to rise in that moment and gift us with the surprise
of
enlightenment or being able to you know, fold your clothes because they have dried on the clothesline,
Yes.
or made a lei, or just embrace the lover.
To be fully
To
present.
just be present and to
Yes.
be in the joy of life,
Mhm.
because it is only when you live this meaningless life, then meaning gets to empower,
That's right.
invite, ignite, and just, you know, yumify.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in an Angel Ohana, and we have something called, I love Yumify. We have something called, we were talking about our cosmology last week.
Yes.
And what was my cosmology? And mine is, we get to make it all up. We go in empty and open. And then we say, well, now the scene is at Lei'ohu Ryder's beautiful property here in Kula. And this show that we're doing, and you're making it up every day. You're going to Japan next week to share your gifts and your wisdom with those who are there. So it's just it's a continuing movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're the directors.
Yes, and you know, it's just simply about, well, for me, it's just about serving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people ask me, okay, what do you do? And, you know, you come to the website, oh, this and that. Yes, that is beautiful. But we all serve in some way. That's all. Whether it's our families or our community, we serve.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way you can serve is if you love yourself, if you serve yourself first. And some people think that's very, you know, selfish or self-centered. But in order for us to serve all of humanity and our families and wherever we be, we must be self-centered, because that brings us balance. It brings us into the center of our being, the wholeness of our being, to invoke whatever gifts we have been blessed by God to be who we are, and to just simply offer.
Yes.
Because everyone is the gift.
It's true. And
That's
to
all.
share those gifts.
Share it.
I was on your website last night listening to your beautiful music, Lei'ohu, and I encourage anybody who wants to hear pure Hawaii coming from their recording device.
Thank you. Mahalo.
To go to Lei'ohu's website, and to we'll actually give that website at the end of the show,
Yes,
so
yes.
they can get some of your music and see what you're
Yes.
up to, because you go around and you give blessings here on the island. And what else do you do?
You know, when people call, I just help them in whatever way I can.
Yes.
And so it can be a private session, it can be, you know, talking story about whatever it is that they are in need of. So yes, I do a lot of blessings, a lot of individual support,
Nice.
guiding,
Mm-hmm.
music, sharing, walking the land, and just releasing
Yeah.
from the timelines, the unification of all the timelines, from the piko, the center of the earth, to now, because everything coming together as lokahi. We're at the gateway of the maluhia, the oneness of the peace that calling all of us.
Yes.
So when I do my walk and my work, it is just being in the moment to feed the people what they actually are wanting for themselves, just to be the way shore, to support people.
Yeah.
So I do a variety of things, from, you know, weddings, blessings, children, you know, sitting on panels,
And if anyone
everything.
has not heard Lei'ohu's chanting, we're not going to do it today, but I'll tell you, it just sends shivers up and down your body.
Oh, wow.
And it makes
Thank
you in touch with who you really are. So
Yeah,
thank you for the
yeah.
gifts that you share in that way.
Mahalo.
So
Mahalo,
beautiful.
yeah. It's just basically opening and receiving.
Yeah?
That's all. It's
Yeah.
being able to give and receive at the same time. You know? That's all.
I have a question about Hawaiian weddings.
Hawaiian weddings.
Because we're thinking of maybe doing a magazine about Hawaiian weddings, and what distinguishes, what do you do at a Hawaiian wedding that may be different from what you do at a haole wedding? Is there a ceremony and ritual because ritual is so important?
You know, I will say no one Hawaiian kahu or Hawaiian minister does a Hawaiian wedding exactly that way. You know, so there is lots of discussion on that. All I can say for myself is when I do a wedding, whether it is in the way, you know, a Hawaiian way, is it's unique because it takes into consideration who the people are.
Yes.
I never do a wedding in a rote way. I mean,
Okay.
I can follow a script, believe me, but the weddings that I do always are in the moment, because these two who are in love
Yes.
and expressing this love bring the richness and their experiences from all the past to this moment here. So I follow my cues from all the seen and unseen.
Yes.
And from there, it is created in a very Hawaii aloha way.
Yes.
And anyone who has witnessed this or who has been, been the recipient of these wedding ceremonies, they are the ones to speak to.
Okay.
Because I just basically follow my heart
And bring that tradition
and bring
with you.
that
And the tea leaves and the
whatever
water
comes,
and the
whatever
wonderful
comes.
ceremonial.
Using the what do you call the kinolau, the embodiment of the gods and the waters and the natural indigenous plants that are here, the kukui, the tea leaf, and all the other fun things that we get.
Yes.
Plus the influence of Christianity, Jesus, because I believe, Yeshua is a very dear friend as well. So all those, really, all those divine ones, they're all friends.
They're all right there with us.
So,
it's
so
true.
why not? Why not?
Bring them all in. Now you have a heiau.
Not me. I don't have a heiau. I'm just the.
Which is
meaning
a
sacred
temple?
I'm simply the caretaker of the temple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it in Wailuku?
It's above the mountains.
Yes. You know what?
Of,
I spent Christmas Day there last year,
Mhm.
and it was one of the most profound moments of my life, days of my life, next to the birth of my children and a few other things. But it was powerful.
Yes.
And I don't know what it was, but I got a direct experience
it's a
of the Aina.
it's a special connection.
Yes.
Kukui puka, the doorway to the light, and it's really being 2 years here on the island. For those that are newcomers and old comers alike, it's all about respect. Just respect this land and respect what is here.
Yeah.
And always give thanks for the privilege to be here and give back to the culture that has embraced you, so richly. So places like Kukui Puka, the world comes to pray, but we always invite people to give back, whether it's through, their sweat equity or financial, the currency of the finances or whatever, in whatever way they choose. It's always nice to give back to our community in some form.
Absolutely. We were just talking before the show about your nonprofit, where the people can actually make a donation. And tell us a little bit about what that is.
Well, we have one nonprofit is called Aloha in Action. It's a 501c3, and
You're wearing your T-shirt.
yeah, I have my Aloha in Action. Serving the love, and it's based on relationships, and serving love and serving humanity. We are all in a service-dedicated society here, and we're all invited to just do something. So Aloha in Action, really, Medine, Iao, my partner, and I, Aloha is a lifestyle.
Yes.
It's not a website. It's not a commodity. It's not something you can package. It's something that lives and breathes without the illusion. And so the service to humanity is simply helping our brothers and sisters, whether they are in Africa or Philippines or Maui.
Right.
So Aloha in Action, based on the relationships we have with specific people or friends, we simply help. It's just based on need. So whether it's buying tires for a car or medicine, glasses for a kupuna, or sponsoring a program for children that live in a garbage site in the Philippines, or assisting abused women and children in a village in India. It's all that and more.
It's so great, Lei'ohu. Can people write a check?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Send the check.
Send
And
a
go
check.
to the www.alohainaction.com or alohainaction.org, and it'll come up. And then we also have Kukui Puka Ohana that, we cared for the heiau. So people make donations, because when I do blessings and things like that, it goes there. And the Aloha in Action, the majority of, I will say for Medina and I, all of our concerts, all the money we make from the concerts goes to Aloha in Action.
Really?
Yes.
Beautiful.
So, People think they have to have millions of dollars. No.
If everybody just gave a little.
Just a little. That's all.
It's so true.
And I found, there's so many beautiful stories, and a lot of them are confidential because, the human experience deserves respect. And just the opportunity, the money gets you in to support a village, say, in Africa. But it's really the exchange of aloha.
Yeah.
The privilege to love this brother and sister from this land and to feel their love as well. So it's
beautiful.
just really about this aloha in action. It's just love being exchanged.
It's so beautiful.
In the form of, certain things. So,
yeah.
And it's everywhere in our community, But whether it's aloha in action or anything that someone is passionate about, just go for it. Give yourself permission to serve.
Yes.
You'd be surprised at some of the things that
what's
get to
possible. I was thinking about when you were speaking of Mother Teresa's great statement. They were asking her, "Why are you just tending to the beggar in Calcutta?"
Yeah.
And she said, "I am just tending to the Christ in every human."
That's right. The Christ in every human.
Yeah.
I
thought that
read
was so
her.
beautiful.
Yes, and being able, it's helped me sometimes, especially when we want to judge, to just look into the eyes of a brother or sister and see Christ. See the divine looking back at you. It's true.
Yeah.
Because so many of us, we rather be in our little box. We wouldn't invite, quote, some of these people to our home, and yet that's exactly what beloved
What's
Jesus
asked from us. That's right.
And we are actually moving into these times where, family is everyone. It's not just the blood relatives or people who think exactly like you. That's the easiest thing to be with. But it is allowing yourself to experience the diversity of life and seeing the richness and seeing the blessing in every moment, every experience. Even those moments when you feel, something has happened to me, somebody passed away, or I didn't get the job, or my lover broke up with me, and we play the dramas of our life. See it as the richness, the blessing it is, because every moment is an opportunity to be free, to be here in Hawaii, on Maui,
Such
to
a
be
blessing.
on this land and say, mahalo ke akua, that I am here to be free, to be me.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Woo! Well, we're almost through this wonderful interview. I just want to ask you one more thing about the kids, because I know that you're an educator.
Yeah.
And I have a passion for teaching children that they're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Absolutely.
And starting a school here, like a Waldorf, that would allow every rainbow child to be educated as to who they really are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you, as an educator, do you have any? What kind of world are we leaving for our keiki?
Well, I would tell the children, have fun, celebrate. Don't listen to all those definitions that adults are trying to feed you, because you are those dreamers that are dreaming the new reality. You are the creators. It is your time, and I believe that our world is in good hands with all of you. Even though there are some of you out there who have, heartache and pain, there are many of you who are those rainbows that are connecting the internal bridge of enlightenment. I'm meeting many of you across the globe, and I know that aloha is alive and well in each of you, because you're going to bring in what we have never visioned before. And there's those of us as those kupuna wisdom. We are those ones calling you to join us as we hold each other with delight and love and the fragrance of humanity, without any exploitation or any fear or any definition on how you are supposed to live your life. Just be free, have a good time, celebrate, and just let it go. And I'll see you in the stars, and I'll see you wherever I see you.
Oh, beautiful. Maybe the kids are really the true kupunas.
Yeah, they are the kupunas. They're teaching us so much.
No kidding. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time today. This has been such a joy. Do you want to leave us with one last little something to that everybody can take into their hearts?
Have a good life. Just have a good life. And aloha, 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 mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. And know that all is ohana, all is family.
And mahalo for joining us today on
Mahalo.
Kupuna Wisdom. Aloha. As they say, it's pono, right?